What we're turning today is I'm going to make a table stand for the Massive Mesquite Bowl. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check in on it. It turned out beautifully. As a matter of fact, it turned out so good that it needs its own place to stand. So this is the piece that I cut off of the Massive Bowl because it was much too heavy for my lathe here. It was, well, not much too heavy, but it was too heavy and maybe a little bit larger than I cared to turn, weight-wise and size-wise, for my machine. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about it. It's big, and I'm going to go ahead and make its own special table. So I'm going to attach this with a face plate. I'm going to use these, I don't know what they are, 3/4 maybe. And because they're short and because I don't want to lose any more thickness on this than I have to, I'm going to use these shorter screws, and I'm going to fill every hole in my this thing, face plate, base plate, whatever. And I'm going to pre-drill the holes to the proper size. I think I've got that. And what that means is I don't see any shank, just threads. And that's going to give this these little screws their max holding power. And we'll just get started here. I've already centered this up. I got an idea of how it's going to look on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drill one hole here and test fit. And if I need a smaller bit, then I'll put that in now. So, and I'm breaking down and using all new screws in this one. Yep, that feels perfect. Okay. So, I avoid using those number 6 sheetrock screws for this sort of things, because those screws are really brittle and they will break and send this thing kind of spinning. So what I use is these, I think these are number 8, or I will use butt screws, something that's pretty durable metal, that's not brittle, not overly hard. Just right metal, not anything less than appropriate, because you certainly don't want this thing, which is probably, oh God, that's probably every bit of 20 pounds. And it has a large diameter, and I have to turn this outboard. So turning it outboard means that if something comes off, it's going to go that way or that way, and there's a lot of space to go. If something comes off when it's set up like this, it usually just bounces back here behind me, and that's happened before. Okay, so I'm gonna build a metal frame for this. What do you think? Should I build a metal frame for it, or should I stick to maybe do some wood thing? I really enjoy working with metal. It's a lot of fun, and I think metal and wood have pretty good affinity for each other. And we'll take this, bring this up here. Let's see, I'm gonna want to move this over here, so How's that look? Can you see what I'm doing here? Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna tip you up just a little bit. There we go. We got this locked. I don't think I want that locked, but I do want to lock this. And we're going to put this on here. And like I say, I've turned bigger pieces outboard, but they were pretty lightweight and they were soft wood. And we're going to go ahead and lock this down. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. And that's done. Just bring this out this way. Looks pretty fairly balanced. Let's go ahead and set the speed here. We're going to put her down to about 100 RPMs just to see how things are spinning. And we're going to turn it on. And we'll sample up, see what we got for. There's 200. There's 355. I think we're going to call that good because this will get the momentum if we get it any further than that out. And besides, out here on the edge, it's turning pretty fast. Okay, off. And the dynamic braking is doing its thing. And we're just going to turn from the outside in. We got a lot of stuff that's going to come flying off here. We're going to turn it down to about this thickness. We're going to, at the very minimum, we're going to take off the very minimum that we can take off. We're going to do some, use some grinder shaping or maybe that crazy wacky little tool. We got some bark that's going to come off here. I am not going to turn this all the way out to the edge. I'm going to save all this out to the edge. And I'll probably have a lip all the way around this and a recess for the table surface. This part that is worthless over there. And we're going to use some body armor and a face shield for this. Time to open the mail. If I can. Oh, look, what do we got here? Because it's good to be breathing at the end of the day as it was at the beginning. These 3M masks work really, really well with these 2097 filters on them. And you'll be able to sleep without your sinuses all clogged up with very small wooden particulates. They come all ready to go. Filters last quite a while. You'll know when they're not good anymore. The mask cleans off pretty easy. You can throw it in a dishwasher if you want. And the filters are really pretty simple to replace. They also protect you from getting smacked in the face with little bitty particulates. You know, little bitty shrapnels off of your wood turning project. There we go. Let's see. Hat. They're pretty easy to size them up and get all the tangles on them. The biggest problem I've had with these is these straps stretch out. They're no good. They're getting to be no good. Oh, this one's not replaceable. The last one was replaceable. We'll have to figure that out. Anyway, I just replaced the straps and they last a lot longer, and I use the little bungee cords, the same ones I use for making segmented bowls, and they work really, really good. Oh, booger. Oh yeah, we gotta go some more, but let's just see what we got here. Yeah, boy, I wish I'd have been a little more accurate with that chainsaw, huh? I guess there's no getting around it. I gotta turn down to that level at least. We'll work it from the outside in and see what we get. And we're gonna kind of flatten this out a little bit and get it ready for a tenon. And I'm still gonna cut this out here so these chalk marks go away. And that looks pretty good. That all looks pretty good. This all looks pretty good. We just got to get the chunkies out of it. But we need to get that put in there. Yeah, I think we're going to call it good. At least for now. Maybe we'll change my mind later, but not yet. Not now. So I guess the next thing we have to do is figure out how big to make our I normally don't use this larger chuck, but on these bigger projects, you kind of have to. So I'm going to get this set up and ready to go. And I think we're going to make a big old, I think we're going to make that an Audi. I'm going to make that stick out. That'll be good enough. Whatever you do, it's going to be permanent. So I don't know how much those screws were penetrating. Maybe about 5/8 of an inch. But you magnify that holding power times what, 12? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yeah. Times 12 of them, that's a lot of holding power, as you saw. And now we're going to give this a spin and see what happens. Yeah, looks pretty darn good. Okay, off. There we go. And I made a line around here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I made a line around here and just kind of give me an idea, but I think I'm going to come into about here. And then I'll just kind of roll that outside. and take off all the booger edges. This will all stay. This will round down. I'll round this down with the sander after everything too. This little booger here, I don't know whether we'll keep that or let it go. We'll just have to wait and see what it does. Oh, I think that's going to look good. Oh, we're just about done here. I'm going to take this down some more. I think I like it. Going to get a little more chainsawing off of that. But getting pretty thin there. Okay. I see how we're going to do it. I think we're getting close to the plan here. I'm going to leave this. This is about as far open as I'm going to leave this. And I'm going to start cutting the center out of it. And I'm going to try to get down to below these holes. And once I'm below those holes, that's as deep as it's going to go. It has a little bit of taper on the bottom side. I'm going to make me a flat ring area to build the... yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll just... Well, I bet we're going to have to take the outside down a little more. Not that bad. I'm going to take the inside down more. Okay, so the only reason I picked up this tool is because it was sharp. There's nothing special about it. It just is sharp. So my goal right now is to make this flat, because when it comes right down to bowl geometry and things like that, am I trying to get a certain thickness, or am I trying to you know, have it be 1/8 of an inch thick? I'm not. I don't care. What I care is that the geometry fits the piece. If that makes any sense to anybody, I don't know. That's just my feeble mind trying to justify not overdoing this thing. Yeah, so that's where I'm at so far. Anyway, I got me a straight edge, and I'm going right here. And I think I'm below all my screw holes, and I'm not quite flat yet, but I'm getting close. Let's see, do I see screw holes? I see one screw hole right there. So we're almost to it. I have to take a little more out of the inside here. So here we go, taking out some more. It's pretty darn close. I think it's close enough. And that's that. And that's that. So normally I don't finish the back or the bottom of my bowls on the turn, but this one I probably regret that I didn't. The reason I don't normally do that is because a lot of times when I turn the outside of a bowl, after I turn the inside, I don't feel comfortable with how the outside turned out, and I will change it or adjust it. This one here, I honestly should actually have finished it first, because it's a little tougher to deal with on an outboard turn and backwards. I could probably fiddle around and find a way to put a tool rest and turn this in reverse, but what I'm going to do is just use my scraper. And you saw me use the scraper on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and use the scraper again on this side. I didn't normally use, well, I didn't use scrapers for a long time, and then I saw Ashley Hardwood use it, and I thought, you know, that's a pretty good idea, because I've used scrapers on other projects before, some furniture or this and that, and they honestly, you know, they eliminate a lot of sanding. You can take out tool marks. A scraper that takes a lot longer to take out with sandpaper, or even a regular scraper. The other thing about using a scraper is a door plane versus a block plane it covers a lot of surface area. I'm gonna bump that so I can see what I'm doing. It covers a lot of surface area. I'm gonna, perfect, now I gotta resharpen it again. It covers a lot of surface area. See if you can see that. Yeah, it'll cover a lot of surface area. You can true up a lot of imperfections that you'll get out of your regular tools. You know, your regular tools covering this much surface area. This is covering almost as much as you want of this surface area. You can bend it and twist it and you know, kind of aim it for the surface area that you're looking for. So I like to use these on these bigger projects, about, you know, 300 RPM max. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to grab my blue chalk and see if I can highlight some of the imperfections that I'm looking to get out of here. So all around this outside edge here, that's all loaded with imperfections. It's nowhere near ready to be finished. I don't know if you can see right here. That area is covered with tool marks that need to get brought out. And here's a tool mark right here that needs to get got away. And here's a bunch of tool marks that go along here that need to get got away. These are real subtle, and you could probably say close enough, but the scraper will take these tool marks out faster than sandpaper, and they're pretty friendly to use. You do always want to wear a mask with this because the shavings that this pulls off of are tiny. Okay, that's all I want to say about that. I just want to reiterate, I'm not an expert at this. I'm not a quote unquote professional or an authority in any way, shape, or form. This is just what I've learned in my last 6 years of turning. Always learning more, and trying new things is something I've always looked forward to. So there's still some tool marks in here, but they're about half of what they were before I used the scraper. So now I'll start with some 80 grit and knock this all down. Also the edges the scraper couldn't get because it's too irregular. So I'm going to knock this down with the 80 grit and sand it all the way down to 400 and get a finish on it. Okay, there you have it, the Massive Mesquite Bowl tabletop. This is the tabletop. I have to design and build the legs. I'm thinking of using steel. What do you think? Write down in the comments what sort of legs I should put on this thing. Yeah, anyway, here it is closer. So it turned out really well. I think it did. I'm pretty proud of it. Here's the bottom. Now I left the tenon on there so that I would be able to use it for laying out the attachments for the bottom. So that's it. It's on there. The live edge came out beautiful, I think. What do you think? Here's the bowl on top of it. I think they go together really well, being as they were actually completely together at one time. So that's it. That's the Mesquite Bowl and tabletop. The legs are another project, and we'll get those designed in another video. I'd love your input on it. What kind of legs do you think I should put on it? Should I go with wood? Should I go with metal? Should it be 30 inches tall? Should it be 16 inches tall? Hey, give me some feedback. I'm always happy to read it. Not necessarily going to follow it, but I'm not going to rule it out either. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Subscribing is really important right now, so if you have a moment, doesn't cost you a nickel, just take 1 second and reach over and hit that subscribe button, and I'd really appreciate that. Help me out a bunch. Thanks to all my subscribers currently, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video.